Good afternoon. I am Vanessa Thomas with the 4 o'clock news on the streets, 919 FM, and online Facebook and YouTube. In the headlines, the Prime Minister continues to slowly open up more businesses. A police officer is shot in the abdomen by his wife. Another tropical depression forms in the eastern Atlantic, and internationally, Sri Lanka religious leader dies of COVID after touting blessed water cure. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley confirmed this afternoon that on Monday, October 11th, food and entertainment services will be opened, but only to the vaccinated population. Cinemas, theaters, bars, restaurants, casinos, gyms will be open only to fully vaccinated people over the age of 12. These services, he said, will operate at 50% capacity, and the consumption of alcohol is not allowed on the premises. Dr. Rowley said employees of these zones must be fully vaccinated. He also said that he is hoping that in 2 weeks' time, consideration will be given to open up beaches by the middle of October. In other news, a police officer was shot in the abdomen last night following an argument with a female relative. The officer is warded in a serious condition at the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex. The incident allegedly took place around 10:15 p.m. at a home along 11th Street in Barataria. Investigators were told that the two were arguing when the confrontation became physical. The woman told police that the officer allegedly grabbed a knife and lunged at her. She in turn picked up his gun, which was nearby, and shot at him. The officer was wounded and fell to the ground. The injured officer was taken for medical treatment. The woman is aiding with inquiries. In more news, another tropical depression has formed in eastern Atlantic. There are no coastal watches or warnings in effect for the newly formed tropical depression 18. According to the U.S. National Hurricane Center, the center of the depression was located over the eastern tropical Atlantic Ocean, about 2,030 miles east-northeast of the northern Leeward Islands. It's moving towards the west near 15 miles per hour, and this motion is expected to continue for today, followed by a gradual turn to the west-northwest by Friday. Maximum sustained winds are near 35 miles per hour with higher gusts. It is forecast to become a tropical storm by tomorrow and could be near hurricane intensity by the weekend. The next name on the Atlantic list is Sam. Internationally, a high-profile religious leader who tried to end Sri Lanka's COVID-19 outbreak with blessed water has died of the virus, according to his family. The 48-year-old man, who treated sports stars and top politicians, including the country's prime minister, claimed in November that he could end the pandemic in Sri Lanka and neighboring India by pouring pots of blessed water into rivers. Sri Lankan health minister had endorsed the water treatment, but was infected 2 months later and ended up in hospital at the intensive care unit. She was later demoted and lost her portfolio, but remains in the cabinet. And that was the 4 o'clock news on the streets, 919 FM, and online Facebook and YouTube. Recapping the headlines, the Prime Minister continues to slowly open up more businesses. A police officer is shot in the abdomen by his wife. Another tropical depression forms in eastern Atlantic, and internationally, Sri Lanka religious leader dies of COVID after touting blessed water cure. Do enjoy the rest of your afternoon and continue to be safe. I am Vanessa Thomas. Robert, he's going to be holding it down for Miss Aisha Well.
From the street. News from the street. 919fm.com.
Hey guys, the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, in collaboration with the Central Statistical Office, is conducting a nationwide digital inclusion survey. Approximately 6,000 households from various communities are being asked to participate. The information collected from this survey will guide studies to determine how many people are without access or have limited access to ICTs, as well as measure the ICT skill level of the population. Field personnel will be properly identifiable while observing all the necessary COVID-19 health